Hi, I'm AJR and today I'm going to take you through a core and mobility workout that's suitable for second trimester pregnancy. I will side note that with if you haven't worked out previously to your pregnancy, now may not be the best time to start. However, these exercises are all super gentle, so as long as you've had permission from your doctor or midwife, then these may be okay for you to try. For this workout, you'll only need a mat and then a step, perhaps a sofa or a chair that you can work with. I'm going to work fairly low, but to make it easier for some of the exercises, you may want to work higher. We're going to start on our mat, just working through some mobility to make sure that our body is nice and warm, and then we'll take it into our core exercises momentarily. So to loosen up those tight hips, because if like me, you might be feeling those hips tight, you might be feeling a little bit sciatica, these exercises will help just to loosen that all up. So we're going to drop both knees over to one side and across to the other. Now you may want to support yourself by keeping the arms behind the back, hands just flat on the floor, and only drop those knees over as far as feels comfortable for you. You can see that we're dropping into the gap, so our starting position is slightly wider than hip width, and that allows for a gap for that knee to drop into. Last one here. Going to take both legs straight out in front of us. Hands still behind the back. Just lift, flex those toes back, hold for a second, come back down and release. Lift, flex those toes back, come down and release. So we're just starting to strengthen into those hip flexors, making sure that they're nice and strong to help support the pelvis. We're just lifting that leg as high as you can, keeping it straight, but we're supporting ourselves, hands behind the backs. Going to add a rotation here. So once you've lifted that leg and flexed the toes back, the toes are just rotating out to the side, but we're trying to get that rotation from within that hip. So we're strengthening rotationally as well as just forwards and back. Take one more on each side. We're going to bring ourselves round onto all fours, just reaching one arm forwards away from us, trying to focus on a nice flat back in this position, then swapping arms over. So trying to get as much rotation as possible, keeping our back supported, just making sure that we're not hunched over in any of our daily movements. And that core, pulling in, hugging that baby nice and tight as we take this movement. One more here. Then we're just going to sit it back into child's pose, quite a wide position, so knees out, feet out as well. Coming back up to centre, onto all fours, come forwards a little, reaching one leg away, just holding there. Tiny, tiny little pulses. Keeping that back nice and straight, the core is engaged. We're using those glute muscles to help lift the leg, point those toes away from you. We'll go 3, 2, 1. To swap sides, just take your time to find that balance. Coming back to centre and bringing ourselves up. Now you may want to find somewhere to hold on to, whether that is a wall, whether that is a chair for example. Sitting up nice and tall, you're kneeling on one knee, and just make sure that that knee is directly underneath you as we pull up. We're just going to take some hip lifts, practicing a little bit of balance here. Then we're going to take that into a rotation. So it's coming all the way round, and then we lift slightly and rotate within that hip. Again, just helping to stretch and strengthen around the pelvic area, hopefully to get rid of any aches and pains that we might otherwise have. Let's go last one here. We'll switch ourselves around to the other side. Find your balance. Tiny little pulses, lifting that leg up. Back is nice and straight in this position. And when you're ready, taking it round. Last one here. And rest for a moment. Guys, grab a drink if you need it. I'm just going to go jump it off so that we can get sorted for our core and you can see the sort of muscles that we're trying to work. So we're staying on all fours for now. We're going to start with an exercise called Hug the Baby. This is a box stance position. So hands underneath the shoulders, hips over the top of the knees. And all we're doing from here is trying to keep a flat back, so neutral posture, head is in line with spine, and we're squeezing and lifting those core muscles up towards our rib cage and then releasing. All this time, however, we're trying to keep that back as flat as possible. We don't want any arching. So pulling in and up and release. In and up and release. Couple more times. And what this is doing is just strengthening all of the core muscles that are supporting that bump. So use this exercise as your base exercise for our later exercises that we're going to try. You want to try and think about engaging that core the whole way through this workout. One last rep here. We're going to take it from here into what is called a bird dog. So I'm just going to scooch back a little bit so that I've got some space in front of me. Like we did in our warm-up, one arm comes forward and replaces back down. Other arm forward, replaces back down. At the same time that you're doing that, one leg is reaching away and down. The other leg will reach away and down. So we're going to work, if we can, opposite arm to leg. So for example, my left arm, my right leg reach away. I'm still keeping that core engaged. I'm not arching into the back. And we come back down. We reach away other side and back down. Now, if you've got quite tight shoulders, you might find that move difficult just to be able to get enough reach without arching the back. Often when that back is tight, so the shoulders and across the shoulder blades are tight, we may compensate by starting to arch into the back, and that's not what we want. We want to keep that core engaged and that flat back feeling like a tabletop. So reaching away, keep squeezing that core in, back to center. Reach away, back to center. Now, if you want to make that a little bit more challenging for yourself, if you feel like you've got the balance, there is absolutely nothing wrong with adding a little crunch in there. So we're bringing that knee and hand completely underneath us to reach, but this whole time we're still focusing on that flat back as we reach away and that core engaged as we reach under. Let's go one more. We swap it across to the other side. So find that balance first of all. Once you've got that balance, if you wish to, you're adding that crunch, just very gentle underneath us. If you do not quite feel balanced yet, you stick with just reaching arm and leg away from each other and then finding that balance, coming back to center, or even just working one arm or one leg at a time. Last rep. Like we did in our warm-up, let's just sit back into child's pose. Relax there for a moment, reach both those arms forwards. Bring yourself back up to center. We're going to take a mountain climber next. So this is where our step or our chair, for example, comes into our variation. Hands are going up, so we're just lifting ourselves slightly. If you can, you're coming up into a plank position, you're still pulling that core in. One knee comes up and back, knee up and back. Now, for some of you, you may want to work at a much higher platform. For example, we can take it here, like we were on a chair. We might even take it against a wall, depending on your level. Obviously, the higher up that you are, the easier the exercise will be. If you feel like you've got that bit of strength, you can come down to different levels. And again, this depends on your pre-pregnancy strength. So, taking it nice and steady, we're just drawing that knee up and back, up and back. And this whole time, still focusing on pulling that core in and up towards our rib cage. Trying to think about our pelvic floor as well. So Kegel exercise is starting to really come into play. We'll go for 4, 3, 2, 1, rest there. We will come back to that exercise in a moment, just as we did with our bird dogs. We will also add that in. I'm taking you through to a third exercise called a reverse plank. So feet are going out in front of us, dig those heels in. I prefer to have my hands this way around, some people prefer them facing backwards. But all we are doing from here, lifting, squeezing those glutes, hold for a second and come back down. And what we are doing is working all the way through the calves, hamstrings, glutes and lower back to make sure that our posterior chain is feeling nice and strong to support that extra weight that we've now got at the front of us. Lift up, squeeze, come back down. Lift, squeeze, come back down. We'll go for 4 and down, 3, 2, and last one. Great work. Our final exercise of our 4, we're going to roll onto our side. Now you've got a couple of options here. You can keep that bottom leg bent in so that we're resting on the shin. If you're feeling a bit more balanced, you may want to take it as a side plank up in full. However, I'm going to work just through my half plank. So my shoulder is up and over my elbow, hips are lifted, core is engaged, making sure that our back is nice and flat. And we've got one leg straight out. Now from here, we're going to lift that knee and elbow, meet and come back down. We'll take 10 on each side here, keeping that hip as lifted as we can. So as we come in, we're not dropping down, we're trying to stay up. So we're working our oblique muscles. This is working around the sides of our core to support both the front and back core. 3, 2, and 1. From here, I'm just going to swim it around so that you can see from the other direction what we should be working with. So lifting up, find that balance, knee and elbow coming in to meet. Once you've done your 10, relax there for a second. Just bring yourself back to center. Shake those legs out. Now from here, we're going to work through 2 more sets. We had bird dogs. That was the one on all 4s where you've got opposite arm to leg either crunching or just reaching away and come back to center. We had mountain climbers, we had reverse planks, and we had our side plank knee to elbow. So 2 more sets. Roughly 10 reps of each. You can work with me if you want to work a little bit faster or a little bit slower, that's up to you. But just change exercises when I change exercises as well. And then we'll finish with a stretch. back round, similar to where we started, we're going to just take a cool down stretch. One hand placed on a wall or perhaps on a sofa, something fairly high, just a very, very gentle hip stretch here. Keep that core engaged, keep the back upright. We're not pushing too far at all, but what we do want to feel is just an ever so slight stretch across that hip flexor from the exercises that we've just worked. From here, pull yourself back. You can drop that chest down towards the foot. If you can't do that with hands on the floor, then keep yourself supported, perhaps something on each side of you, a wall or a chair. Keep breathing. We should feel a nice hamstring stretch in that position. We can swap sides over, so we'll take our hip stretch first of all. Like I say, just ever so slightly pushing forward, keeping that core engaged, keeping that back upright. Keep breathing through. Pulling back, dropping down if we can. Good work. We're going to bring ourselves round to the front, balancing up on one leg. That other leg is just dropping out to the side, keeping the foot rotated. Hands can come forwards. I'm going to just drop ever so slightly. We should feel a nice stretch in that inner thigh. Hold in there, keep breathing steady. Coming back up to center, we'll walk ourselves across, give ourselves some space, dropping that foot over and dropping our body down towards the floor. Great work, coming back up to center. Now prop yourself up just on a chair or a step, just so we've got a little bit of extra height. One foot can come across us, and that other foot is just sort of giving us a bit of support. If you feel like you can, you just take an ever so slight forward lean. That will give you a lovely glute stretch across the leg that is crossed over. Come back to center. You can swap legs over. That may be enough of a stretch without having to lean forwards. If you do want that tiny bit extra, just take the chest ever so slightly forwards. And keeping yourself there, just bring both feet in, clasp the hands, push them forwards, round that chest off. Or you can take the hands up and overhead, reaching back just to stretch out those shoulders. And then taking both hands behind us, again, clasp them together, push the heels of the hands together. Just try and lift that head into or towards the ceiling, pulling back with those arms. And the same one that we started with at the very beginning, just bringing ourselves onto our mat, feet slightly wider than hip width, dropping from side to side. Depending on whether you feel like you need the support or not, hands can go in front or behind you, but just to stretch out those hips, help them to loosen up. Just take it to one side, hold it there, drop those knees right over. Keep breathing steady and swap sides. Good job, relax there. Give yourselves a moment, just deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And adding in just a squeeze from that pelvic floor and release. Squeeze from that pelvic floor and release. And one more time, squeeze from that pelvic floor and release. My name is AJR. I hope you enjoyed that workout. I hope you feel a little bit stronger, a bit more supported, and hopefully I will see you again for another trimester workout.